Hello, I am your new favorite, JJ Caballero, and this is MonoStereVideo, a podcast about movie music. I'm a songwriter, producer, DJ, and I love movies, and this is the perfect excuse to talk about music and movies, especially with my wonderfully, beautifully talented, well-timed co-host,
well-timed
stylist, hairstylist extraordinaire, owner of Deep Cuts Salon, Casey Goins, the lovely Goins. How are you doing today, my love?
I'm good.
We've had a morning already.
Right? We've had a really productive morning.
Yeah, we've done a lot today. Went to New Mexico to get some medicine. Because they have specials between 9 and 10 a.m. So we got up early for that. We had breakfast. We had a little wrong order at Dunkin' Donuts that we almost lost our minds about. So we did that. And yesterday was family time. I hung out with the family. Casey worked. It was a lot. And we're tired today. Well, I mean, we're not. Nah, we're okay. We're cool. It's been a good day. It's been nice.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well,
I had a long week.
Casey's she's worked.
It was a long week, but I was busy
like 9 days
and
in
I was
a row.
glad.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, so we got all that going. But we're very happy to be here today. It's the chill time. We can chill. We're doing a twofer today. Not right now. I mean, I'm gonna cut it off at some point this episode. It's just little behind the scenes. I might cut this out. I might not. I might have to leave this in anyway. I don't know. We're ending our cyberpunk run of soundtracks. Oh, also update. I rearranged the office. We rearranged the studio, and how do you feel?
I'm gonna get used to it. I feel like I can hear more of an echo, but I don't know.
Yeah, totally. How about?
But it does feel more spacious in here.
That pillow, maybe put it behind your head somehow. Yeah.
And then you just hear a bunch of stuff crashing down.
No, it's okay. It'll be good. Yeah. I think that's a bit better, yeah.
Okay.
But because you're by the window, I think also it's like, yeah, I gotta do some curtains or something at some point. Soon,
yeah,
maybe.
Okay.
I know. I mean, ya pa que for a lot of the stuff we've been doing recently to this place.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, we're doing it. So, is this not how you would have arranged it?
No, it's not that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's not that. I kept telling you needed to switch sides.
Yeah. And I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Good.
I like it. It feels good. I feel, I don't know, I could see you more. It's
That's
a little
why
more
I'm
open.
saying it's more spacious.
Mhm.
It's more purposeful.
Yeah. Anyway, we're into cyberpunk, ending the cyberpunk run of MonoStereVideo. Thank you all for getting through it with us. Not getting, it was fun. It was a fun series. We had some of our favorite movies.
Yep.
Most of our favorite movies were during this little run. Johnny Mnemonic was a surprise smash hit with me. I really loved it. Yeah. Johnny Mnemonic was awesome. The soundtracks were all really fun, very intense. A lot of intense music. A bunch of it's all hackers. Everybody's a hacker in cyberpunk land.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a hacker, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's outside. That's outsider type shit. I don't know. I
feel like we're getting to a point where it's not really anymore. Like everything's about the internet. Everything's about tech.
I mean, I registered for some websites where you can learn how to hack for free and but it's like little coding things. You can learn up to a point and then you start paying for whatever. But it's like cybersecurity so that you can learn how hackers do whatever they do and such. And it's ever evolving. But I mean, with that, we're getting into more hacker stuff with Tron Legacy today, the 2010. I mean, it was a hit by Disney standards. Like, it made a lot of money. It made a ton of money. It made a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big thing. Critically, people like the acting and the story were choppy for people, but I mean, it was a big deal at the time.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was a big deal at the time.
For sure. I think that having them on there made a bit, like, it pushed it to another, like, level because they're just super popular already at the time.
Yeah, and it'd been so long since there was any music from Daft Punk. Daft Punk did the soundtrack score to this film, directed by Joseph Kosinski, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But yeah, it was. So where were you at when 2010, this movie comes out? What's your anticipation for the release? What's all that about for you?
Honestly, I don't remember if I went to the theater to see this. I don't feel like I did. I think I watched it at home. I think it was one of those. It was a Redbox movie.
Oh, okay.
Not because I just didn't. I was working a lot, and I wasn't going to the movies. You know what I mean? I was watching a lot of movies still, but I wasn't going to the movies. I was out partying at the time. So
okay. I always made a point to go to movies I really, really wanted to see. I think like they had always been a thing, and like especially when I wasn't living with Jake at a point. I think this time I was living with Jake. Especially living with Jake and being around Jake, we would always try to make an effort to go to movies for sure. Yeah. That was like one of our things. Like early mornings, like if Jake, when he'd get off of Graveyard and he wanted to have a drink, and then we'd just go watch a movie or something, you know what I mean? Like we'd sometimes do that, things like that. For me, this was a big one because I was really I had gotten into Daft Punk, like I'd been into them, and then when I worked at Applebee's and when I started getting into computer music and such, I started like really getting into them, like dissecting what they would do with samples and house music and French house and all that disco stuff. And it'd been so long since they'd done anything, since that Alive album, that we would listen to that constantly at Applebee's in the background at work. And I remember they announced this, and I was like, what? And I remember seeing bits and pieces of Tron growing up because there was those free weekends of Disney Channel.
Okay.
And sometimes, like, because my grandma would, like, we would boost the cable. So sometimes, like, somebody would give us the little tubes that would filter through so that you could get, like, HBO and Disney and Showtime until, like, the cable company cut those off. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So we would do that. And I remember seeing bits and pieces of Tron and thinking it was so cool. I haven't seen it in a long time. Original Tron, 1982. Have you ever seen it?
I know I've seen it, and then I remember it being on in the background, but I was at that time, I guess when I saw it, I was still little, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just remember seeing it, but I wasn't like, I couldn't be into it yet. Yeah.
You're little.
I was little.
Little Casey.
I mean, when it came out, I wasn't born yet, obviously, the original, but like...
Neither of us was.
Later.
We weren't ideas yet. We're gestations of ideas. You were a gestation. Like, there was Pam, and your mom's like, can I do another one of these?
Can I do another?
But get back to some thank yous. Thank you all for listening to the episodes. Make sure you rate and subscribe and share and do all the things on all the apps that you need to do. Tell all your friends. We've had a bunch of episodes so far. The Cyberpunk series has been really cool. It's been, I think it's been my kind of favorite because like watching The Matrix kind of made it like.
Yeah, it was just fun. It's still fun.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to just watch it again.
Oh, also update. We found, I'll post a picture of it. We found the CD of the soundtrack of it,
from Matrix.
From the Matrix. When I was
for rearranging the room.
Yeah, I was digging through my stuff. I'm sure the Tron soundtrack's in here somewhere. I believe it might be in here. I'll probably check and see, and maybe I'll post after this as well. Yeah, maybe I'll post a picture after this. But I had those both on, and this one was also a score that I would listen to on repeat in my car, like from home to work, work to home to work. I would dissect it because it's like, let's see what they're doing that's different. And I listen to this a lot for sure. Especially like these past times too. It doesn't get old for me. It's very Let's see. So Tron Legacy 2010. I was 21, maybe. 21, maybe? Probably around then. Yeah, 2010. See, the director, Joseph Kosinski, also directed Oblivion. I think that. Was it Matt Damon or was it Tom Cruise? Oh, Tom Cruise. Yeah, he directed that one. Did you ever see that one?
I did.
Was
that
it
was
good?
An at-home one.
Yeah?
I mean, it's a Tom Cruise movie. It's just actiony.
Okay. Let's see. Oblivion, Only the Brave. And then later on, he directed the new Top Gun Maverick, which we hear is a huge success. I'm sure we'll watch it at some point, maybe. I don't know, but I hear it's good. I really do. Mm-hmm. As a movie, I hear it's good. And then Spiderhead, remember that one on Netflix? It was Chris Hemsworth and what's that dude's name?
Oh, was that weird one where he was like a scientist or something?
He was a scientist, okay, and then like they were like prisoners.
Well, once I finished watching it, I couldn't tell whether I liked it or not. So I feel like I didn't.
I feel the same. Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm. I either love a movie or I'm just like, eh.
Yeah.
But that one, I was like, what?
Yeah.
So
I like the name, but yeah, I'm with you. It was.
I think I wanted it to be better.
Same.
And then it was. I don't know.
It's one of those where I'm like, where we watch it on Netflix, and I'm like, we could stop it, or we just continue it. Like, why are we watching it? And then, like, it gets halfway, and I'm like, I'm not even.
It's because it has enough action in it to like keep your attention. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's why. Yeah. But it didn't really.
It was, yeah. And then at some point, you're just like, oh my god, okay, I just have to know. At the end of the, like, fuck, I just have to know what is it. And then you find out, and you're like, wow, okay.
All of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else was in it? Wasn't Zoe Kravitz in it? Was it Zoe Kravitz? Who was in it? It was somebody else that we liked. Now I'm Journey Smollett.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember. Oh, wasn't that? So that one came out during COVID, no?
I think it was a COVID one.
Yeah, that's
a COVID one.
Okay.
It was alright. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he reached out to Daft Punk. I don't know where they connected exactly, but he directly reached out to them.
JJ from the future? Ooh, cyberspace, the future, cyberpunk. Oh, anyway, JJ from the future of this, I mean, probably in the past now. JJ from this time loop. I remember now reading that they connected at a Disney event. I believe it was some sort of big Disney musical thing, but it was a Disney thing. That's how they connected. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like I had to say that. I'm liking this episode so far. It's flowing pretty good. I like the way we sound and the way that the studio is set up. I could keep going here, and I want to, just to make you mad. I'll stop right here.
In 2007, they had originally just stated the idea. 2007, yeah, just 2007, the original gestation of what this movie was. He asked them then, and it took them up until filming to decide okay, cool, we're down to do this, to see if they wanted to step into that realm. So,
or was it 2005? Where did I read? Sorry, you're probably right. You're right.
Let me see. Okay, so
sorry.
They hired him around. Let's see. There's rumors of a Tron sequel further ignited after the 2003 release of a first-person shooter video game, Tron 2.0. I remember that coming out. I know there just been it was such a rife thing. It was such a property rife with possibilities and such. Let's see. Adam Horowitz and Edward Kitsis wrote this. Let's see. No, it doesn't. I don't know if it says 2005. Wait, here we go. Plans for creating Tron Legacy began to materialize in 2005 when Walt Disney Studios hired screenwriters Brian Klugman and Lee Sternthal as the writers for the film. Okay. They just wrote the script for Warrior. 2007 is when he reached out to them. and it was like in a post Matrix world. Because when did Matrix come out once more? 1999. So like it's like they're thinking of this in terms in like, okay, now we have the technology of the Matrix and the movie's been out and it's been this whole thing. So how can we adapt to the look and everything? And for the time, like the graphics and such were like super like, I mean, there's still.
I still remember. Yeah, like a lot of the stuff, the scenes and all that stuff looks good, but it was the CGI Flynn where
the CGI,
where it was like
CGI Jeff Bridges was not. Yeah, it was not popping. It's one of the things that people harp on about this movie.
Yeah, because it's very distracting.
It is distracting.
Like it's very distracting considering how good the rest of the stuff looks. It makes it more distracting.
Yeah.
And then I was reading that the people that did the CGI part of it did part of the stuff for Benjamin Button. And Benjamin Button looked so good.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, but why?
I wonder why. Yeah.
So that it just bothered me a lot. Like I couldn't not look at him.
So what we're talking about is there is scenes, I mean, for the majority of the Jeff Bridges plays two characters essentially, and he also plays himself, the younger version of himself. And this was one of the early iterations of like de-aging software and stuff. And yeah, it does look bad. It's one of those things. I think on Blank Check, I forgot what movie. Terminator Genesis recently watched their watch along with Terminator Genesis, and they were talking about how there could be really good de-aging and you could adapt it and it could be real. It looks awesome, but when like they just haven't advanced talking yet, they haven't gotten there yet, and that to me, yes, like in that first scene when we're opening the movie and you see the back of his head and he's talking to the Sam and you hear his voice and stuff, it's believable. And then he turns around.
I feel like they should have left it. They should have left it that way from that perspective where you just hit the back of him, like his silhouette talking to the sun. And then they could have showed Clue later when he's in the grid. Like, that would have been more like, okay, it was like, too distracting seeing him like that already. Like,
I think
what?
You're true. I think it would have been cool if they would have done like okay, yes, you see the back of his head, but then when he's outside, maybe see his face but blurry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
just
he's
kind of
too
do like
far,
a lens blur.
like you get the gist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then
they're focusing on the sun because it's the legacy. You know?
Because when he's Clue inside the inside Tron, like inside the grid, it does. You can kind of, for me, what I did like to kind of fuck with that is like I was like, no, well, he's in a computer world, so it's the computer him.
That's like, why I was like, it's more believable.
It would be
like,
more believable.
You know what I mean? It would be way less distracting if they would have just like waited.
That would have seemed
do it that way.
That would have seemed intentional.
But just seeing him right off the bat, like, and then I read too because they didn't do current Jeff Bridges face and then like map it out that way. They did young Jeff Bridges, mapped it out, and then did current Jeff Bridges talking mama. So I feel like that didn't
backwards overlay type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's with good intentions and it seems like that would work, but it just was off. There was something about it where he looked almost like cat-like to me. Like he looked and very like airbrushed. Like you couldn't really tell where his mouth and nose were.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
Like Ron Perlman.
Yeah, Ron Perlman. He had Ron Perlman beastly like looking where it was just too, I don't know. Like you couldn't, like the nose and the mouth were too blurred.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
He looked like Ron. Wow. Clue looked like Ron Perlman. So just a quick synopsis of what the original Tron was. Okay, so in 1983, the original Tron. What happens is Kevin Flynn is a software engineer who owns, he runs a video game arcade now, and he's attempting to hack Encom, a company he used to work for, he's attempting to hack their mainframe because he believed that they stole his idea for their new game. I believe it's the Light Cycle game, the Tron Light Cycle game. That's what I believe that's what it is. Well, so the thing about this is we're not gonna go into. We could go into major detail about Tron right now because that would set up this like a good long episode or whatever the fuck. And then that score is really good. But we're gonna do that score on a different episode later this year. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. I'm spoiling that because the soundtrack and that movie, we're gonna do another thing. So wait for that. Getting back to it though, Kevin Flynn, he's a hacker. He attempts to hack. He gets zapped into the world of the grid there, and madness ensues. We do see Dillinger is like his nemesis in there. Dillinger, I believe, was played by David Warner. David Warner is this man.
Okay.
Yeah. David Warner is this man. I know David Warner. He just passed away recently in 2022. Rest in power. But he was one of my favorite British actor, like very famous, and he's a character actor. He plays like a scientist. He plays a bad guy. He plays like a computer guy. My favorite of his roles is in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze. He's like their ally scientist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He knows the ooze that turned him into Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that little thing there.
Nerd.
Yeah, I know. But that's the whole movie. He's the bad guy in that world. We see people from this film younger, so let's go through the cast list then. Well, I mean, this world too. Well, yeah, let's go through the cast list. We'll go through the story of this world, and then we'll get into score time. Garrett Hedlund as Samuel Sam Flynn. Sam Flynn is Kevin Flynn's son. Garrett Hedlund was in Troy. Okay. Friday Night Lights, Four Brothers. He's an American actor. Oh, and he's a musician too. Okay. Four Brothers, I recognize him from. What do you recognize him from most?
That would probably be it. Four Brothers.
Four Brothers. Yeah, he was like, spoiler alert on that movie, he was like the last death. Like when they killed him, it was kind of like big deal on that. Or no, like that was like the turning point where they're like, we're gonna go fuck shit up after this, I think.
Oh, on Four Brothers?
Yeah. Yeah, Garrett Hedlund. Let's see. He was also in Inside Llewyn Davis. Okay, that's cool.
Then maybe that too, because I did watch that.
I like that movie. I do like that movie. I think he grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona, pursued acting in Los Angeles. Okay. Yeah, Troy, Triple Frontier, Aragon. He was okay in this movie. I mean, he's kind of I don't know. How do you feel about him in this movie, in this role?
I feel like it was supposed to be like, ooh, but it was just like, oh.
Yeah, it was kind of
like a fizzle.
Yeah, he was kind of whatever. Like, was he ever supposed to be like was Hollywood trying to make him like the guy?
An it guy? Yeah, for sure. I feel like he was like, he gained popularity when like Clint Eastwood's son was kind of like out there like, oh, this is Clint Eastwood's son, and now he looks just like how Clint Eastwood did when he came out, like famous or whatever.
See, this factoid says Hedlund won a Darwinian casting process which tested hundreds of actors being chosen for having a unique combination of intelligence, wit, humor, look, and physicality that the producers were looking for in Flynn's son. The actor trained hard to do his own stunts, which included jumping over cars and copious wire and harness work. I mean, good for him. Good for him on doing that.
No, yeah, like all of the action work and all that stuff in the movie was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And sometimes it's like it's the director makes them do things, or
I wasn't watching it for him.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, I was more...
I remember being excited that Olivia Wilde was in it and loving that she had a little black short haircut. Like,
that's a cool little haircut. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Owen Best played young Sam Flynn, because it starts off with him young, and then it tells us, like, goes through the story, he's in there. Jeff Bridges, who's Kevin Flynn, originally Kevin Flynn, and returns as Kevin Flynn and old Kevin Flynn and Clue. And he's the former CEO of Encom, which we'll go into some detail afterwards. And then he also portrays Clue, his computer likeness. Jeff Bridges is who I was excited to see in this movie. Like every time he came out on screen, yeah. Every time he came out on screen, like I think that too. Garrett Hedlund was the least the least best actor in that movie.
I want to say that the way Jeff Bridges looked, the way Clue looked, was the way Garrett Hedlund's acting. You know what I mean? Because even though Clue looked so bad, like the acting was still really good. Like you could feel the power in the voice of like when he was angry and he was very passionate about you told me, you know what I mean? Like, but it was the face was it was very Lion King. Like there was like reactionless. Like you know what I mean?
Oh my
gosh,
was too that softened. Lion King remake. Yeah.
But yeah, it was that. Like Garrett Hedlund's acting was the way Clue looked.
Okay. Jeff Bridges, he's an actor, singer, and producer. He's from a prominent acting family. His father, Lloyd Bridges, and his brother, Beau Bridges. He is an Academy Award winner, right? Yeah, for Crazy Heart. I never saw that one. Did you watch it?
I mean, I have because of my mom, but I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah, there was a big song on that one, too. That was a whole thing, too. Let's see.
He wrote the song or he did the song?
He played it. He played it in The Last Picture Show, Starman, a John Carpenter movie, which we need to watch. I really want to watch it. True Grit, Hell or High Water recently. That's like older Jeff Bridges, like he still fucking holds up. Like Big Lebowski, after Big Lebowski, he was the dude.
That was like he brought him, you know what I mean? It brought him back.
Yeah. It brought him back. Like, yeah, that movie is a classic. It is a classic. It's a good movie. And it has the best cast. This movie has a great cast.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in this movie.
A lot of good people going at it. That's what carried the movie. It's Garrett Hedlund, I think, was kind of like not the best in this. Olivia Wilde plays Cora. She's good. Like, I like her. I do like her. Hit or miss in this one for me. Like, there's scenes that, like when she's curious and stuff, when she
and her little quirks and like, or when she gets amusement out of something, like, you know,
yeah. But there was some inconsistency in that. I think there's some inconsistency in that. But other than that, like it was like she's always exciting to watch. Let's see, she directed and starred in Don't Worry, Darling most recently. She had appearances in Babylon, which I liked. It was a little everywhere though, Babylon. It wasn't my favorite, but I'd watch it again. I think it was more campy. It was more campy. Let's see. What was the first thing you remember seeing Olivia Wilde in? I don't remember.
Oh.
I'm trying to think like when she became an it person.
Name the movies.
Let's see. So she was in House, the show. She played.
See, and I never really watched that. My mom watched that show.
Cowboys and Aliens, The Lazarus Effect.
The Lazarus Effect, I remember, was a thing, but that was kind of a flop.
Yeah, Alpha Dog.
I didn't really care too much for that movie.
Turistas. I'm trying to think of. Looking at her earlier stuff. Better Living Through Chemistry.
I remember seeing that movie.
Really? Huh? I think you actually have. It's one of those movies that you have burned. I think in the folders. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think I've seen that in there because I've never seen it, but I was like, oh no. Black Dog, Red Dog. I don't know. Like, was it TV first or? Oh, she directed Booksmart. Have you seen that movie? That's a good movie.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's a really funny movie. Yeah. Oh, great.
I think she's a good director.
Yeah. Like, Don't Worry, Darling was a disappointment, but the ideas were there. It disappointed me. It was kind of boring. Like, I don't know what I expected out of it.
I guess because I saw it like it was like another like a Stepford Wives. Like you know what I mean? Like I saw it for the aesthetic, the aesthetic, for the look, and you know what I mean? Like the costumes, and it was in the future, but it was still like and like I don't know.
John Reardon plays Clue physically, so he plays physical Jeff Bridges, which I think that would have been cool if they would have just had Jeff Bridges But I guess he's older. I don't know.
Yeah, the body type wouldn't have been the same because he's not like with those lean suits they had them in. His body's not that shape anymore.
Oh, Olivia Wilde's hairstyle was influenced by singer Karen O.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Neat. Yeah.
They should have left it more round then.
Yeah.
Because I was reading too that she's supposed to be very androgynous, like. You know what I mean? And that's why they kept it short. But it's like, well, Karen O's haircut's very androgynous. It's a fucking bowl. Like,
yes.
And it's either a dipped bowl in the back, or it's longer, or it's just round, you know?
The hand bowl, related to the dip bowl, related to the... Bruce William Boxleitner was Tron / Alan Bradley. In the original, he's Tron. Also, like he's like his.
He's the one that came back to.
He's his bud, and he's inside, and he's Tron, and he stays as Tron, helps him build the world with Clue, and comes back out also as Rinsler. So Rinsler is like who he turns into when he becomes an evil guy. Let's see, Bruce Boxleitner. He was recognizable other than that, but I don't personally, let's see, Gods and Generals, I don't think I've seen that. The Babe with John Goodman. He was in Babylon 5. Let's see. Did you recognize him from anything?
Mm-mm.
He was in Double Jeopardy.
Maybe that. Maybe he plays a cop or something?
Yeah. Contagion, but not the good Contagion. What?
So here's another one?
Another movie called Contagion. That's not the good one. Yeah, like after this, he became more of like a sci-fi movie actor character. Like there's different types of like sci-fi, a B movie actor kind of. Yeah, yeah. But coming back to this, like he was great in this. He was in his little appearances and his CG him.
So who played Rinsler then in the suit? Because I'm sure that wasn't that old man.
It doesn't say. Let's see. No, it doesn't say, actually. Huh. Stuntman. Stuntman. Yeah. Rinsler was named after author and Lucasfilm executive editor J.W. Rinsler. Oh, okay. Here it is. And Anis Sharfa, a stunt actor, played Rinsler. Okay. While Boxleitner provided the dialogue. Cool. Okay, neat. Michael Sheen was Zeus / Castor. Fucking Michael Sheen goes all in all the time.
I like Michael Sheen.
He's awesome.
He's always so flashy. And,
he is. Yeah. He was over the top in this. Like he's always over the top.
Yeah.
Over the top.
He has a lot of faith.
Yes. Yes. Very excited. And then we just talked about him in the Twilight series. We talked a whole lot about him. He was in the Underworld series. How are those soundtracks? Should we watch those movies?
Yes, they're all of the same. This is like a branch off of that realm, but it's just like fantasy. You know what I mean? Like it's sci-fi fantasy because it's vampires, but it's still the same.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of them. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. He's very eclectic and he can do it all. Multifaceted.
He's played vampires. He's played werewolves. Yep. I think he's playing the devil now in Good Omens. Like, he's playing, you know what I mean? And I heard also that they're gonna make another. That the second season of
Good Omens.
No, the other show. No, the one that just came out. The dream one.
Let me think. The dream one. Sandman.
Yes.
Okay.
Sandman.
Okay. He's gonna be in it?
Like the second season's supposed to come out this year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's what I thought.
Bitch ass Netflix.
What was that?
Oh, I think that's that.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe I should turn it off. But yeah, he's done it all. He does it all. He do it all. And he does great in this. So Zeus Castor is like a smuggler.
He's the owner of End of Line, that cool club that they go to. but he like pretends to be like the one that gets you a meeting with Zeus. And then he like reveals himself to actually be
Zeus. Okay. Mm-hmm. It says here, Sheen describes his performances as containing elements of performers such as David Bowie, Joel Grey from Cabaret, and a bit of Frankenfurter from the Rockin' Horror.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Those are, fucking love it.
Yep. Let's see. Also in the main cast, lastly, is James Frain. He's Jarvis. He's the helper. The death to the user, that guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Pobre. He gets killed. He's a British stage actor. He was in The Tudors. Did you watch The Tudors? Didn't you say you watched that?
I remember when it came out, really wanting to see it.
Because it has, what's his face?
Yeah. It has Jonathan Rhys-Meyers.
Yes.
And I really wanted to watch it, but we didn't have cable at the time. So it was one of those where I'd catch it whenever it was playing, wherever I was at, I guess. But I do want to, like, watch it.
Okay. He's recently in one of these escape room movies. He was in The Lone Ranger. He was in Elizabeth, Count of Monte Cristo. Character actor, I believe, in his own right. He's in a lot of like period piece work.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it's a lot of period pieces. Let's see, Robinson Crusoe, Arabian Nights, Loch Ness. He was great in this. He was real cool. I mean, his character was snivelly and just a simp. But
it was just a little ass kisser.
Yeah, little ass kisser.
Said anything to get, like,
Yeah. I like. How can I say it? I like the different design of the characters. His design was funny too. Like, I don't know, you look like a pawn,
he reminded like a chess pawn. Me, like his little outfit and his headpiece reminded me of Gary Oldman's on Fifth Element.
Yes, totally. Yeah, good call. That was a good call. Fuck yeah. Let's see. Also, there's Bo Garrett as Jem. Bo Garrett she was in Fantastic Four, one of those. She was in Knight of Cups that we recently fell asleep to. Let's see. She's in a few things. She's an American actress. She was like the one that got them to cast her. Mm-hmm. And then there's other sirens in the background. Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Oh, yeah. I remember I was saying one of the sirens was a contestant on America's Next Top Model.
Yes. Which one was it? See, there's Serinda Swan, Yaya DaCosta, and Elizabeth. Yaya? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Got you.
And then I think after that, she started doing more. Like, she did quite a few acting roles.
Let me see. Mm-hmm. She's in here. Okay. Yaya Costa. Nice Guys. In Time. Did you see that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake where like they have to pay for time?
Unfortunately, I think that has what's her face, right? From Mean Girls?
Wait. Mean Girls? Which one from Mean Girls? Oh, Seafried. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't there Fanning? Oh, Olivia Wilde's in that one too. Cillian Murphy plays an uncredited role in this as Dillinger's like nephew or something. Remember, like
in the meeting.
In the meeting. So he's uncredited. I
wonder why they didn't credit him.
I don't know. Maybe he saw it and he's like, I'm not in it enough. Like, just fucking whatever.
That's crazy because he's so big now, and like you forget he's on it, and he's in it.
Yeah, Oscar winner, Academy Award winning actor Cillian Murphy makes an uncredited appearance in this Disney film. Right. Let's see. Anybody else? There's a bunch of people here, like other like extra people. The grandpa and the grandma are in there too. Let's see. Grandma and grandpa played by Donnelly Rhodes and Belinda Montgomery. Let's see. I'm trying to think of anybody else that was. No, there's like just gaming programs. Different programs that die like weird, like kind of like horrifying deaths, like
right? They're just shattered.
Yeah,
like all their codes just like.
Yeah, and I mean, so let's get into that. Like, so we're picking up. So the movie starts 1989 when Sam's young and Kevin's there, giving him a whole little like talking to him about the grid and talking to him about Tron and what happened in the movie, the first movie. And he ends up having to go to work late at night, right? Because he's like, he has a breakthrough, and then he disappears. And it shows a little quick flashback of Sam and what's happening with the company.
Struggle and how he's just he doesn't want to do the company, but he's the biggest shareholder of the company.
Because Kevin becomes the CEO of Encom because at the end of the movie they find out that, oh yeah, we were stealing your fucking ideas and shit. So, they own Encom now, and Sam doesn't want to do it like Casey said. And the grandparents are watching him, and he's all depressed because his dad's not there. His mom also passed away too before then. And let's see, what else from then at the beginning? And then it just kind of...
And then it goes into him hacking into Encom to give out the software for free like Kevin Flynn originally wanted.
Yes. So picture Encom like kind of a Microsoft now, where it's like, yes, they started small gaming or whatever and such, but now they're just like, they have this operating system that operates everything. And Casey said he sneaks into the building that he pretty much owns, like he's a majority shareholder of this company, and he hacks it, shares it for free. There's a shareholder meeting in there in which Alan's in there also, like trying to advocate for their side and such. And it gets, there's a whole thing, and it's out for free, so people can download it, but everybody does. And he runs off, but he's arrested.
Yeah, he gets arrested. And then Alan bails him out.
And
tells him about the distress signal he received from his dad's old arcade.
On his old pager. There's a whole scene where Garrett Hedlund's like jumping, like it's like it has to be like the extreme sports thing.
Oh, where he's doing the motorcycle tricks and he's avoiding
and then he jumps off the building, and then he gets caught in the parachuting and stuff like that. That was kind of like...
Yeah, to me it was just kind of like, okay, you're already like... I felt like it was trying too hard to show that he was cool. Yeah. Like it was trying too hard, and it's like, okay, he's already cool. He can do all this stuff. Like,
yeah,
but I felt like Disney it was trying to set up for the later scenes, so that it's like, oh, he can work these programs in here because he was used to doing this in the real world.
Yeah, that's true. You're true. Yeah.
Yeah, it was too much.
It was a lot. It was
too much.
And it was real quick, like him getting arrested, him getting out, but he has millions of dollars. Like,
he can do that with
he can do money. That. He's got a cute dog. What was it, Marv? Yeah, the cute dog was Marv, because we've had, this is our second Marv. I made a note of that in my notes. I was like, oh, it's the second Marv in Cyberpunk. Because Merv, the Mervingian. And then, yeah.
I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember him telling a story to Cora about having a dog. Okay.
Well, then the dog was the virus that he planted. Remember, like you see the burp, burp. He just pops up on the screen.
Yes.
Anyway, so he gets a message on his phone, goes to Flynn's old arcade, he turns the power on, finds the old Tron thing. It's a whole thing. I remember that too. That was a whole like, ooh, that's the old stuff from the old movie. Oh, it's the video game, the Tron. Whoa. Oh, it's the light cycle. Whoa. And then he finds a secret room behind Tron. And
behind Tron?
Behind the video game. Behind Tron.
Oh.
Yeah, he finds the secret room that has a secret computer and a secret laser and a secret laser in it. And he's like, what? And he starts typing stuff because he's also a hacker, and he knows how to type on every computer, and he knows every operating system, obviously. Like in every movie where hackers are, they know everything about computers. And he sets off a laser, and then zap. And it gets into it quick. Like it gets into I think we go from 0 to Tron like super fast. And then he's in the grid.
Yeah.
The grid. He's in the grid. I'm gonna do that a bunch. What do you think about the grid? Like as a place, the way it
I
looks?
loved the way it set up the whole like how they keep like nobody's talking to him or explaining to him. Like he's arrested and he doesn't realize it.
Yeah, and we're watching it along
the grid,
with him.
And like seeing the little contraptions that pick him up and how they float around and how. Like, I'm like, why don't we already have that stuff now? Like, it's so practical. The way it's shaped like an H.
Yes.
And then it can travel up within itself. Like, it was just a lot of the stuff they had was cool.
That too, so that design does like it calls back to the original designs in the original movie. And that stuff was meant, I believe, to like mimic like circuitry in a computer, right? Like it's like connectors and they're moving and it's supposed to be like you're moving along.
Everything has a purpose and everything fits together.
Yeah. And that's what that too. The director had also a degree in architecture. So his principal designs and stuff were a big part of building the world of the grid and this. And there's lot of
they built the world in 3D, so that's why it looks so like
this movie
works.
Like original Tron and this movie are essentially like an origin story to establish like a world. Like this is a world that they could build upon. And there's gonna be a film, I believe, Tron Ares in 2025. I think I was reading that it's a different story than what than the Flynn story, which is cool. Like that's another way to like it doesn't always have to be about the Flynns. They could extend about this. But yeah, I like the world a lot. I thought it looked upon like on this watch, I could see where there's been a bunch of copycats afterwards. This was a copycat off the Matrix too, you know what I mean, in some sorts of ways, but this still was good.
I feel like it kind of held its own. Like I don't feel like it's super like it wasn't similar enough to make or it made me think of the Matrix.
Okay.
It didn't.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Tron has its own thing. I think. Tron does have its own thing, but it did set up a bunch of like later down the road things are gonna try to start looking like this and stuff now. So that in itself, the design, what do you think about the costumes of people, the hairs?
I thought it was really cool looking.
Yeah.
Like I was reading that they designed a lot of the costumes, like they made molds of the actors' bodies so that the way they could build the stuff on top. And,
cool.
Make it look like it was fused together, like and hide all the stitching so you couldn't see, so that it would look like it was computer. Because they're like, if they're living in this computer world, there's no need for buttons and zippers and all these things. Like
sewing?
It just appears on their bodies, and they did a really good job of that. That's why. What's his face? Clue's face is so distracting because everything else looked so good.
Yeah, that's true. Everything, there's the details,
like all the extra stuff that they did, even just the way they did some of the characters' makeup, like the sirens and stuff, how they made them look all like doll-like, even though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how they gave the contacts to give them that like edgy, so it's just like, I don't know.
And even, I mean, just in the graphics of like the world alone, like, how can I say it? Their suits, like the glow of the suit.
Yeah, they used all these little LED lights and dipped stuff in color.
And like the saturation on it, like as new as the movie look, you look at the glow and it has like this old school glow to it. Like it has like an old school like 80s glow to
like
it,
where
you know?
it's fuzzy.
Yeah, fuzzy glow. Yeah, that looked cool to me. That's what I like enjoyed
and their
the rendering to that.
They had them like be magnetic and they were made out of like a million little lights too.
Yeah. That was fucking cool. So that too, Sam's in the world, he gets caught up, he gets thrown in some like gladiator style games. They find out he's not a computer program and he realizes that he's a user and he realizes he's in the game. He gets pulled up, we get introduced to Clue, and then that goes back to the original story where Flynn talks about himself going into the grid. And he reveals that later, right? Where he builds Clue and stuff. Okay,
So then Cora rescues him
from the game because he's kind of he's gonna die. Cora rescues
him. Like he's winning, like he gets to a point where they're gonna like do whatever they can to kill him.
Yeah.
But he was winning all the little games. He wasn't playing them the way they wanted him to.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was cool. So it was just like you didn't need to do all that other setup before, like he caught on quick, and it's like, his father built the game. Like he has the same mental capacity, like
in the light cycle game. That's
that light cycle.
She rescues him in the light cycle. Yeah, and it goes pretty quick from like the other games to the light cycle games. Like it moves fast. It moves fast. Cora rescues him, reveals herself to be Cora. They travel outside of like the main city, and
her vehicle is able to go off the grid. Flynn designed it that way.
Yes. So they go off grid and they find this place. Sam's like, what's this place? What's up? And they go inside the place and we see old Flynn. Yep.
All zenned out.
He's all zenned out. He's been in there the whole time.
20 years.
20 years later. Okay. And okay.
And think about how they say 20 years in regular real world time is so much time in there.
That's true,
so
yeah.
He's been in there for forever.
Yeah, and he's built, like, he explains that he was in the grid. He made a duplicate of himself, which was Clue, to be
to make the world as he saw fit,
and to be the proxy for himself, so that he could spend time in the real world and go back and forth, along with the help of Tron. They're the ones that built the grid. They're the ones that built the world. And what we come to find out is there's a group of emanating beings called ISOs, and they're beings that came out of the grid somehow. Like, he doesn't know, it's kind of a miracle, but he also reveals that you could kind of like look at their genetic code or their digital code, and it could help like cure cancer in the real world. And that was like his real goal. His whole goal was to there was a whole speech that they showed too, like that he was like gonna try to combine the technology from the grid to the real world and help save people and, you know, eliminate disease, things like that. So it's an altruistic goal, and he got stuck because Clue
wants to use his disc to get out. He figures if you can use us to make your world better, we can come out and make your world as we see fit.
And he also kind of trapped Flynn because he wanted the world to be perfect, and that's how Flynn like programmed to be. Like, hey, you gotta make, like, this is gonna be the perfect world. And in his quest for perfection, he became mad, and he became the fascistic ruler of this world now. So now the grid's under oppression. He killed all the ISOs. We find out later that Korra is an ISO.
The last ISO.
The last ISO. So Flynn has to get that. They devise a plan because the gateway between the world is open.
The portal's open for him to go back.
So
but
that's
like Kevin says he doesn't want to go back because if they try to get there, then he's gonna get out, and they can't risk it. But the son's
thick-headed.
Yeah, and he just wants to do it to prove that he can. And I mean, it ends up going to anyway. If they would have just went there in the first place, they could have avoided like Korra getting hurt in the first place.
Yeah, Korra gets hurt.
That's when you find out that she's the last ISO, and she can rebuild her
she's the last
body.
ISO. We meet Michael Sheen, aka Zeus, aka Castor. We also see Daft Punk, who make an appearance there.
That was cool. That was cool. Them in the movie. The way that setup was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that too. And then it's just action-y from there on as they're being chased by Clue.
And different like spaceships. They have one like baton, like think of like a police baton, and it can turn into like a motorcycle. It can turn into like a flying contraption. Like it's all the stuff, like all the ideas are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, everything was cool. Everything, the acting of the main actor kind of fell flat. I think if with a more exciting actor, I don't know who. I really don't. Maybe one of the Chris's, the Chris Pine, maybe. Is he the one that sings?
He's the one that sings, yeah. I feel like this one needed, like they should have just made them nerdy still. Like, why did they need a...
I'm trying to think, like 2010, who would have been... I don't know who was around. I don't know which actor... Maybe Cillian Murphy, and then switch role, like Garrett Hedlund was was the other guy. I don't know. But they find their way to like a train that's heading towards the portal. Then Clue finds them. They find their way onto one of Clue's army trains, like
the
where
Solar Sailor.
So Clue is arresting all these programs and converting them to his followers so that
build an army
to go into the real world. And they're gonna go into the real world and create the real world in their own image. And it's kind of a final face-off between everybody.
And then Flynn and Clue have like a heart-to-heart and like, why did you leave me? And why did you this? And like, why did you turn against me? And this and that. And kind of like an I'm sorry, but like I'm doing this for good reasons. And then they have Korra and Sam escape.
Yeah, they have a hard bro escape. A hard bro escape hug where everything blows up. But not really.
He absorbs Clue. Like he takes Clue back into himself and they both like obliterate.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm wondering, like, he might become back like as a god.
Yeah,
the new
something.
one, you know, like in the new one, he'll probably be AI.
Yeah,
You know, like they did like Johnny Mnemonic, like they've done other people,
like a superpower, a super being.
Yeah. So that's why we've included this in Cyberpunk Land, because it's a cyberpunk album.
It's a digital world.
Yeah, digital world made by, and the music's made by two digital DJs, Daft Punk, French house DJ producer, fucking duo electronic music, Thomas Bangalter, Guy Manuel de Moncristo or Omem Cristo. They're robots. They're iconic in the world of house, of dance music. They only made so many albums. This is one of them, and all of their albums are amazing. It's kind of in my opinion, I love all of them. I know for other people it's like diminishing returns. Like I know like people like the first one more than they like the third one. Like it's like Discovery more, or Homework more than like Human After All. But they started back in 1993 in Paris. They were in bands. They were in a band called Darlin with one of the members of Phoenix. Like they kind of branched off, and the dude from Phoenix made Phoenix, and they made this. Yeah. And they got to.
Oh, no wonder, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Phoenix very much.
That's where they all signed to, what's the record label? Oh, because they had like a record deal as Darlin, and they put out a couple of songs. Duophonic Records, yeah. That which was Stereo Labs record company. Okay. Stereo Labs record company.
Yeah.
But they were initially without the masks. They kind of adopted them as in like 1993 when they did a rave at Euro Disney, and this isn't their first. Like this is their first score. This isn't their first project,
like movie music.
Yeah, it's not their first.
They've been on soundtracks.
They've been on soundtracks. They've also had their own movie, which was called Electrorama. You ever seen that?
I don't think so.
We should watch it. But the thing about that movie is you're gonna watch. There's no Daft Punk music in it. It's just Daft Punk visual.
Okay.
It's one long, weird experimental film following them. It's pretty cool. I liked it, but I don't know. I also know it was kind of boring. It was slow. There was parts of it that were, but it's an exciting thing to watch.
Okay.
And then I know that for the first album, when they did all the Spike Jonze and Michel Gondry out, like the videos with like the dog and like the thing that circle of things that does that, like around the world. I know that was collected in a movie.
Okay.
And then Interstellar 555 was the anime that was built around Discovery, the One More Time, that album. They have hits. If you don't know who Daft Punk is, they're huge.
Yeah, I feel like they turned electronic music mainstream.
Yeah, they had a big hand in that for sure. Yeah, I mean, they won a Grammy for their final album, Random Access Memory, which couldn't have come into being without this. This record is important in that realm too, because this is the first time they actually did like the majority of stuff was actual instruments and stuff, because prior to that it was drum machines. Yeah, there's synth and stuff, but it was a lot of sampling, a lot of very clever samples placed in very clever ways and redesigned certain ways and resynthesized. Whereas this is like orchestral, and it was a weird synth, and then they built their own synth to help them out with the random access memories and stuff like that. And then Random Access Memory is just like an old school disco record, essentially, made with old school players, and like, yeah. So they're amazing. They're no longer like they're releasing stuff. Today I was reading some news that the drummer on Random Access Memories, the studio drummer, revealed that he was given permission to reveal, but that there's an album that they did at the same time, like right after they released that, they did another album that's just shelved. It's just sitting there.
Yeah. And
that there's been rumors that they might release it at some point, but they're like no longer a group officially.
Yeah.
they're each also doing their own individual works too on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get in to this score. We're gonna go through the majority of it, but also there are some songs that like kind of it's like the same varying theme.
Mm-hmm.
So we can move along from some of that stuff. But the overture at the beginning, how do you feel about the overture?
I liked it. It was a nice
really
little build. It gives you like that little background of like the sound that you're gonna hear. Yeah. And then it's like it keeps the power. It's just like a nice slow build.
It's a very powerful main theme. The doo 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 doo, and it's played different ways, and they play it at different parts. Like this is the main, like it starts the main theme, but it's a lot slower, and then it goes into the grid, and I like that. Like
I know.
I'm fucking up. I was just obsessed when he like. I have the quote here. It says, "The grid, a digital frontier. I tried to picture clusters of information as they moved through the computer. What did they look like? Ships, motorcycles. Were the circuits like freeways? I keep dreaming of a world I thought I'd never see. And then, one day, I got in.
Oh my goodness.
Banana. That was good.
Like, I'm so proud of me.
But that song was fucking awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I saw some, like, I remember there was videos of like the orchestra doing stuff. I don't necessarily think that there was video of them working with anybody. I don't know if there is out there, but yeah. Yeah, that was rad. Then it goes into the Son of Flynn, which is like this. I think it's like this. It's the introductory song, like when he is like doing the getting into the place and like jumping off the building and riding his motorcycle everywhere. Yeah, it was like
I did like that song. It's a good.
Yeah, very like driving. These songs are still super driving. Like they're very super driving, very super powerful. But that's the one that right? Yeah, yeah. Recognizer. This it goes in like recognizers like and then that like the boom towards the end. That's when they're
and it's like you can hear the fiber octave.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel like you can hear it. And the hum and the buzz of the electricity.
That's that because they do like it's like the digital art. Yeah, you're like digital artifacts that are kind of like it's like how can I say it? Some of the orchestral stuff breaks they'll break it digitally just to kind of like break apart the world, right? Like that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool, love. That's like that's the shit. But okay, so Armory is the next one. So to me, so Daft Punk did say that they were influenced by the original Wendy Carlos music on this. And the thing about Wendy Carlos, which spoiler alert, we're gonna get into later this year for sure. We're gonna have to because she's just been on a bunch of tongues on I want to get into it, what she does. But her score was very orchestral. But she added like they did the elements where they add the synths and stuff, and she was known to be the synthesizer person. And the main Tron theme is a synthesizer based song, but the majority of it was that. So they wanted to just keep that kind of element, keep that kind of like flow of things. And then like the single, which we'll go over, is pretty much kind of like the most like synthesized, I guess, in a way. Yeah, but it was that. But I also want to. Armory sounded very John Carpenter.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Armory. Starting here and Arena, we get into like the John Carpenter realms of this soundtrack, which I also fucking loved. Like, like it that made it darker. Yeah.
Because it's a cutthroat world. Like you're a user or you're a program. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like it kind of intensified like the battle of it, and like just the music had a lot to do with this movie.
The music was a character in the movie.
It was a character. I believe I read too that the music was done earlier, so they were shooting to music and they were cutting scenes to music and stuff.
That's
too,
cool. I
right?
like when that happens in movies because sometimes it just does fit the scenes. You need to do it to fit the song.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Arena's the next one. The way that the synths and the harmonies of the synths build up on this one, I liked, and it's
like you can feel it's like the energy of the crowd, like building, it's spreading in the arena, and it's just like getting wider. Growing.
That's I didn't click until now. Like it does sound like when you're walking into like arena.
And then it just gets big. Like you feel how many people are there watching you.
That's cool. Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't get that at first. Rinsler. This song. I like this song.
It starts off quiet and then it gets big. Well, no, it doesn't start off quiet. It's pretty hardcore.
And it's like a swirl. It's the swirling synth. It's like there's a weird swirling synth that kind of gets eaten up by like
this one kind of sounds dramatic. Terminator. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can see him walking in the boots. Like,
so James Cameron in there too. That's cool. Wow. Damn, these dudes got their score game up. They knew they did the assignment. They knew the assignment. They did it well. The game has changed. What do you think about this one?
I guess this one was just one of those.
It was an orchestral.
Yeah.
It was a longer orchestral.
It still has like factors of the Rinsler in there, like.
Yeah. I could see that being used in other movies too. Yeah. What was it? I'll get back to it when I talk about the Moby version of it. Yeah, because that one's fucking cool. There was also, so we're also gonna mention at the end of this, after we talk about this, we're gonna mention that there was a remix album of this album. Outlands. I like Outlands. That's what it was called. Outlands. The Outside the Grid was called the Outlands. That's right. What do you think?
I liked it. You could tell, like you were going, like it was expansive.
Yes, expansive is the word. I wrote that down too. Yeah. Adagio for Tron. It's like the song that plays when he's like reminiscing about. Well, he thinks Tron got killed, right? But Tron's actually Rinsler.
Yeah.
So that's the song. I like Adagio for Tron a lot. Like I think I
like it. This one was like it starts off slow and then it builds.
And it builds real, and it gets real heroic. Like that to me was like a hero's death. Like I'm riding into Valhalla. Witness. So yeah, Witness. Nocturne. It was a shorter one. Like it's a nocturne. I mean, it's a little orchestral.
It's a nocturne.
Yeah, it's a little kiss. But I want to get to the next one. End of the line.
Yeah, that one's my favorite. When they go to the club, it was just so cool and it was perfect and it's good. It's funky. It's like
Okay. Was this the fighting one, or was this the when they're in there and it's like, change it up, or you gotta do something different, and then they're like, all right, and then they
no, this is the one when they walk in.
When they walk
this
in,
is playing when they get there.
Yeah, and like I like when that song pops out on the. It's like tough. Yeah, tough. yeah. This one's.
Because it's that deeper synth sound.
Yeah, this one's fucking good. Yeah. Derezed was the single.
And this one, it wasn't like I was like, why was that the single?
Yeah, it was also really
more actiony.
I remember when it came out. It had a music video. It's a minute 44, and you're right. It's like. Why was that the single? I wanted more. And I think that's what it was. Like, they wanted to give you a little... Because it also... And it just ends, like, quick. You know what I mean? I do all my hands.
Right?
Like, I'm doing my little hands. What the fuck? Yeah. I remember. So when this came out and the video came out, like, as a Daft Punk fan, I was like, but it was fucking
It does
short.
sound very Daft Punk.
It was super Daft Punk. Yeah, that's why it got you in. And then like I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't disappointed, but this score was different from what I was expecting. I guess I don't know. Like, it was more orchestral than I thought it was originally gonna be. I thought it was gonna be all synth. Yeah. Fall. What'd you think about Fall?
I guess it was just one of those, like a filler song.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, like it's big, but yeah, it's there's that theme. That theme kind of runs throughout too. That plays several intense parts of the movie. Yeah. So, Solar Sailor. Next one.
That's why.
I want to get to that one.
That's why, because this one's so good, and this is the one where they're riding to get to the portal.
Oh, okay. It's bouncy, it's uplifting. Then it has like this cool, funky bass turnaround. That's like, yeah, it's like dancey. Yeah. Rectifier, I also like. Rectifier was a cool tune. Rectifier is very, we're gonna fight.
Battle.
Like, we're gonna battle. Very like, we're getting ready. You're seeing everything pile up. That type of song. Then we go to Disc Wars. What you think? Any word about Disc Wars?
It's another one of those, like a battle.
Yeah. Clue, same thing. Battle. Like, now it just gets to this, like, when it gets to Arrival, it's a battle territory. Then Flynn Lives is kind of like, it's orchestral. It's uplifting. It's that hero, like, I mean, Jeff Bridges died. Like, Jeff Bridges died and that was like, it was a big explosive orchestral piece that like meant, I don't know how to say it. It's heroic, but it's also like, some sad shit went down. Yeah.
It's like, it's a happy ending, but not.
Yeah. Like, it's like Jon Snow is banished. You know what I mean? Like, he's banished he's exiled. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then we get to... Wait, which one
are you on?
Tron Legacy and titles.
Oh, I thought we were on when did we talk about Arrival?
It was Clue. Okay, Arrival? What do you think about Arrival?
No, I was going to say it reminded me of, it sounded very Blade Runner.
Oh, let me see this one real quick. Yeah, it does. Both Blade Runners. Yeah, both Blade Runners. Very like open and expansive, and like in the new Blade Runner, like
where you see the ships and they're going and they're looking for where they need to be. But yeah, the last song is just like, all right, we did this. Yeah, that's starting new chapter.
Tron Legacy, the end titles, and then the finale is like another orchestral end piece to it and stuff. Very, very. We did this. We're sad, but we're alive, and we get to make it to another day. And that's what I think. Like, they should pick up from there. Like, maybe it should be like a future world where it's like
what did Korra do? Like in the outside, like how did that turn out?
Are there ISO/human type people that are in the world? And then there's like a proto.
Well, I saw too that they said, I read supposedly that Jared Leto was in the works to play Ares or whatever.
Okay, I can see that.
I don't know how that,
I mean, after
Morbius bombed, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still like...
Right? Like, nobody gives good enough to where it's like, everybody can have a bomb.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about what...
Like, nobody's giving Sydney Sweeney shit for Madam Web bombing, but they're giving what's-her-face shit. She's kind of just brushing it off like, meh.
People have their things about Sydney Sweeney. Like, because of that other one, the Something About You or something... There was like another rom-com that was a different type of movie that...
was bad too.
It just has I don't know what there was like a viral moment to it. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it is. But I don't know. They're trying to make her something. I don't know how that Immaculate's gonna be. I don't know. But yeah, Dakota Johnson that was her, right?
Yeah, Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, she's been getting fucked in these in her movie role choices. Yeah. Or she just doesn't make the right choices?
I don't know. Or maybe it's her age. I don't know. But Suspiria was awesome.
Yeah, that's true. Suspiria was amazing. We're going to talk about that movie at some point.
There's a lot of people that didn't care for that movie either.
Yeah,
but
we got to talk about that at some point, for sure. Let's see. So they did release another complete edition, like on the 10-year anniversary. There's songs called Sea of Simulation, NCOM Part 2, Part 1, Round 1, Caster. So different takes, different themes. I listened to them. They're cool. Like it's not. I could see why they left it out of the original one. Like if you're gonna be concise, but as a completist for like Daft Punk, I totally dig into that because that's more material that you can listen to and such. And there's also the Tron Legacy reconfigured. Not T-configured, reconfigured soundtrack, which was okay. So this was a remix album released April 5th, 2011. So like a year later, the same day the film was released on DVD and Blu-ray.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool, huh? Yeah, and I liked a lot of these. There were some that I didn't care for. Yeah, some that I didn't care for, but honestly, there's some stuff here that I'm like, I could throw this into a DJ set.
Yeah,
like much like the fucking the Watchmen soundtrack.
Yeah,
like the Watchmen soundtrack, I could totally. There's a lot of songs on there I could totally just throw, and then this one too. Yeah. So Derezed is remixed by the Glitch Mob. Any thoughts on that one?
I mean, it's Glitch Mob.
Yeah, it's Glitch Mobby. Yeah. And it just repeats itself. Yeah, it's good. M83 versus Big Black Delta does Fall. I was telling you earlier, I liked M83's first album. And after that, I kind of like I would listen to stuff, but I don't know. It just after the first...
Didn't keep your attention.
No. So who are you saying, Big Black Delta?
I didn't look it up, which I should, but I feel like on the first season of The Sinner, that's the song that the main character keeps hearing that triggers her like memory.
Oh,
it was a song that they had them do.
Oh, okay.
So I wanna look that up really quick.
Yeah, while you're looking at that, there's the Crystal Method. Does the Grid? The Crystal Method. We've talked about them before. The Grid remix I really liked too. It was very spastic. Very. I don't know if you're allowed to say that word anymore. Spastic. I don't know, but it was very everywhere. It was very. Crystal Method. I don't know. Like they're kind of wild. They do something.
Yeah, like they're very recognizable.
Yeah. Then we got, let's see, Teddy Bears does Adagio for Tron, which because I like the original Adagio for Tron, this one was right up my alley. Yeah, this one was right up my alley. Let's see, Kai Theory does The Son of Flynn. I don't know who Kai Theory is. That was a cool remix. Oakenfold's Clue was cool. Paul Oakenfold, like a legendary DJ and producer in his own right too. Like I don't know. He's done it all. Like he can do breakbeat. He can do like sampled stuff. He can do like more EDM stuff, I guess too. That's the thing here too. Like there's a lot of more. Like it's more EDM rather than like like house, deep house, like more along the commercial basis of who it is. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, my favorite one on this is Moby does The Son of Flynn.
That one's good.
And then like it gets orchestral towards the end, like very Moby-ish. Like I don't know. I really like Moby. I just had a thought the other day, like, oh yeah, I saw Moby. I remember seeing Moby when he played at
you did?
Neon Desert. Yeah. Did you find anything?
I'm narrowing it down.
Boys Noise, I like the End of the Line remix because I like that. I mean, End of the Line's already a good song. So they could have fucked it up. Boys Noise didn't fuck it up though. They've been around forever too, Boys Noise. They just released a song with Rico Nasty, I believe. I think it sampled that. I haven't heard it all, but it's called Ariti, and I think it samples that.
Okay.
I think that's what it is. You like Cascade, huh?
I do like Cascade.
We both like Cascade. What did you think about the Rinsler, his Cascade Rinsler?
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't care for some of the other ones because it sounded too much like they just made their own song.
Yeah, I feel like The M83 one did that.
The Avicii one, I feel
the Avicii, like, so I'll skip ahead.
I was right, Big Black Delta.
Yeah? Okay,
it's
cool.
that song, Huggin' and Kissin'.
Huggin' and Kissin'?
That was the one that played.
Wow.
Over and over.
By Big Black Delta. Wow.
Sorry, I just had to.
No, I wanted you to. I wanted. That's why I was going through these, so you could go. So you could do that. Yeah, that's awesome, love. Com Trues also plays NCOM Part 2. NCOM Part 2 is one of the other songs that was on like the additional music. So them releasing the remix of that, I would have seen as kind of confusing at the time. That would have been confusing at the time. Photek comes on doing End of the Line.
I liked both of the End of the Line remix.
Yeah, me too.
Because the End of the Line is such a good song. It's so good.
True. That's true.
Like, if you made it bad, like...
That's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you, yeah. I like this Japanese Pop Stars Arena remix a lot. That was really cool. Yeah. Then Avicii's Derez. Like, yeah, he did his own thing. And I'm not... Rest in peace, but I'm not the biggest... Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Avicii. He was too big for me. Yeah. Pretty Lights also, like... I like Solar Sailor, but I don't know. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, it was not... Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That was like a time, and like 2011 was like, that music was like...
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
It was like
electronic.
Post dubstep. Like, they were trying to adopt those sounds.
Like, everything was too... I don't know. I just can't. Cut that out.
I love you. No, that's in. I'm going to use that.
Oh, God.
And then last, Sander Kleinenberg with Tron Legacy, the end titles. Good. I like that a lot. The Australian edition has a remix of...
I want to say we saw him. Ooh. Like, Joey took me. Sander Kleinenberg.
Really? He's coming.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I was going to bring up. He's coming. He's coming, yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are coming again. But yeah, I went to so many shows with Joey, and I didn't even know we were going.
Who was the person they saw in Mexico?
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Okay. Yeah, shout out to Joey and Hector. They rock.
Right?
They're the best.
Mexico, they're a little vacationing.
End of the Line was remixed by Tame Impala on the Australian remix. On the Australian edition. I haven't heard it yet. We need to check that one out. Yeah, we need to find it. Yeah. Maybe Google or YouTube it. We'll find it.
Yeah.
And that's Tron Legacy Reconfigured. That's Tron Legacy, the soundtrack score. That's Daft Punk. That's Tron Legacy, the movie. That's it for our Cyberpunk series. We did it. We got through Cyberpunk. Another series that we did. We did another series. Completed it. What was your favorite movie in the series?
In the Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
I mean, it's because I love Hackers so much. So, but it's just, as far as like Hackers, I love because of like the memories it gives me and the nostalgia and the, you know what I mean?
I can always watch it.
It was so cool. It just looked so cool and it was different. But Matrix is such a good movie. Like, it's a good, like, the acting's not bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's good. And it was so, like, I feel like it was very innovative when it came out for a new generation of people.
Yeah. It's hard for me to figure out, too. Yeah. But I can say, all of these movies, I could watch anytime they're on.
Yeah.
All of them.
Doesn't matter what part they're on, and I'll just watch it.
All of these I can watch.
Because they're pretty. They're cool to watch. They have cool music. Like, it's just like a big music video.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Thanks for doing this, love. This was fun. Yeah. That was cool. Next episode, we're recording after this, and it's going to be a chill episode, a Monster of the Week. So we're going to talk about different stuff. You're going to have to find out what we talk about when you hear it. Next series is the music of 3 movies by Gaspar Noé. We're going to cover Love. Well, first, Into the Void. We're going to cover Love. And we're going to cover Climax.
I'm excited for Climax, but it also gives me a lot of ansia.
All 3 of those movies give me ansia. He's an ansia-inducing director. But it's Irresistible is also scored by, I don't know if it's Guy Homom or Guy or Toma Bangalter. But it's scored by one of them. Yeah. So, but that one is an extended rape scene, and it goes like backwards or something like that. It's talk about the Matrix. It's what's her name? The wife of the Merovingian.
Oh, Monica Bellucci.
Monica Bellucci and Vincent Cassel.
Ooh.
Yeah. I hear it's a pretty intense movie, like to watch because of that reason. But I hear it's a very good movie. And that's like it was like Gaspar's like calling card, like one of his calling card movies. Yeah. But those 3 movies, 3 intense movies, cool fucking soundtracks, and we're gonna get into them. And I think I figured out what's gonna be what we're gonna talk about after that. But we'll announce that when that happens. Yeah, that's it for Cyberpunk. Awesome. Thank you very much for listening to MonoStereVideo. You can find us at MonoStereVideo on Instagram, at Casey is Harry, at deepcuts_EP. Any other plugs, love? What, anything?
Not for me.
Any last thoughts on the soundtracks? Any last thoughts on the movie? Any last thoughts on Cyberpunk?
I mean, I feel like it's one of those like steampunk. Like it's not, people don't consider it a real thing, but I feel like we've gotten to the point where it is a real thing now.
I'm with that.
And I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool. Once again, thank you for coming out to our Cyberpunk party. That was cool too. Like, thank you for, and if you weren't there, if you saw that, thank you for liking the posts, and thank you. Like, all of the U.S. listeners, all of the international listeners, all of the home listeners, Alexis, like consistent friend listeners. You know what I mean? Like, thank you guys. Thank you very much. We're very happy this is a cool thing that we get to do. It's a little extra thing that we do. It keeps me busy. It keeps me busy. It keeps me from like ruminating on other things that I'm not doing. So I love it. Next episode's gonna be cool. Next episode after that's gonna be fun. And yeah, at _JJCABALLERO and www.jjcaballero.com. Anything else I have to plug in any links, love?
I don't know.
No, huh? All right. We'll listen to you later.